season.
All of them.
All of them. I think you'll be a little intrigued where they put some of these guys. They evaluated every player on every play and used multiple years of data to project future performances. And they also isolated each quarterback from their supporting cast for a more effective projection. So that's the criteria for this. So the top 10 are Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen.
Boom, right there.
Dak Prescott.
Now we're arguing.
Lamar Jackson.
Close.
Matt Ryan.
About there.
Baker Mayfield, top 10.
I wouldn't do that. Who do they have 11?
Matthew Stafford.
Oh, so Matt Stafford's not as good as Baker Mayfield. Okay. All right, crazy town. All right.
Okay. Well, what I think is interesting, we can argue the rest. I think you start arguing around, I guess, in your opinion, 7, which would be Dak Prescott, which is, I think, in general, where most rankings start to become a little more nuanced. Like, everyone can kind of agree on the top 5, top 6 in the league. But, interestingly enough, they have Trevor Lawrence ranked 21st.
He hasn't played.
Over Jimmy Garoppolo, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, Goff. And they have Justin Fields at 25, who is over Jared Goff, Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, Tua, Zach Wilson, Jalen Hurts, and Drew Lock.
I'd love to see him play a snap in the NFL, but nonetheless, that's... By the way, you know what I see right there? Big Ben at 16. And Steeler fans get all into their feels when you suggest it's time to move off Ben. And by the way, you start looking who's around. Joe Burrow is 2 spots behind him, and he's ascending.
Yeah.
So according to this list, Baker's better than him. Lamar's better than him. And it looks like here Burrow very quickly is better than him. So Ben is now the 4th best quarterback in his division, maybe by week 5. And you can't believe why anybody ever goes, it's time to have a contingency plan.
I don't understand the plan with Ben Roethlisberger either, but this is it's pretty interesting. They have Justin Herbert at 15. So they have Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill ahead of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, most of it I don't have any. Dak's a little high for me, but I don't even care about it.
This article was written by Bruce Gradkowski, and he will be joining us at 1:45.
I got Baker. Today, I got Baker about 14. That's 15. Dak about 12, 13. I had Matt Stafford probably a slot higher.
I am interested to ask Bruce how they got to the Lawrence and Fields rankings, though. So the Pelicans missed the playoffs this season. Finished just outside the top 10 in the West, 31-41 record. And Zion did not hide his disappointments when discussing how the season went.
So I'm not going to, sit here and say, we're close or this. The reality of it is, it was very disappointing not to be a part of the play-in tournament and stuff. But we just got to come in and just be better. That's just me being real.
Yeah, by the way, the Knicks were really good this year, and the Pelicans were not. I'm just throwing it out there. Well, how great would that be?
We were all kind of hoping that Zion ended up with the Knicks, and I loved New Orleans, but the Pelicans don't. Well, the Knicks don't have a history of being great as of recent either, but it is New York City. It's a bigger brand.
For all the love that the Pelicans players that used to be Lakers got, this is why they got rid of him. Even with Zion, who's virtually unstoppable,
right?
Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball can't make the playoffs. Can't make the play-in game.
Well, we know how the NBA is built now. Like, he needs another superstar next to him if they're going to be competitive, especially in the West. That's it.
It's not Brandon Ingram. Brandon should be your 3rd
superstar.
Yes.
Like, it has to be another star. Brandon Ingram is a good player, but they need another star if they're going to compete. He averaged 27 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists this season. Obviously,
good player.
It wasn't on him's first All-Star game this year. There's going to be a few more years before we start really having the discussion about what Zion's going to do about New Orleans. It's still a ways off. And I do like the New Orleans Pelicans front office. I think that
competent.
They're very competent. They'll figure it out, but it's just a matter of getting another star there because that's what they have to do. So, speaking of those Knicks, they waited 8 years to see their team return to the NBA playoffs, and they're going to have to pull out the checkbooks if they want to see them in person. Standard tickets have been sold out, so fans will have to pay secondary market pricing.
The phone and how much you use it in social media, anybody under, like 35, 36, that's what you grow up with. I like to watch games and not be on my phone. I like to just watch games, open a cold beer, sit with my dog, have the channel flipper. I don't want my phone. But if you're young, you grow up and you're on your phone as you watch games. It's just I didn't grow up with phones. I get them, but I didn't grow up with them. And so outside of NFL Sunday, I mostly don't have my phone with me when I watch games. I just want to watch games. So LeBron often goes to social media because that's the generation he grew up with. He's got his phone all the time. That's how people communicate. So yesterday, a stat came out where LeBron has the most 25-point per game seasons in NBA history, mostly by a long shot over everybody else. Jordan's got 12. LeBron's got 17. And then LeBron went to, his Twitter account and said, yeah, since I was 19 years old, and I'm a pass first guy, always been. That's why I'm never mentioned with the greats of scoring, huh? That's perfect because I'd rather keep it that way. People are like, come on, LeBron's a little petty. That's just he's on the social media every day. That's how he communicates. But LeBron is right now, I think, third all-time leading scorer. And we don't mention him as a passer. In fact, I've said this before. My favorite LeBron James stat in the history of his game is not an NBA stat. And we know he didn't play in college. It's a high school stat. It's my favorite stat by far. LeBron averaged 28 points a game as a junior in high school. And just one bucket more as a senior, 30. He could have scored 50 a game in high school. He basically had the same average. Why? Because LeBron's always been about his teammates. LeBron's always made the right basketball decision. What does the team need now? And this is one of the things that's really unique about LeBron. I've always called him the greatest Swiss Army knife in basketball history. He does everything well. Even the other all-time great athletes, they knew what they did well and they leaned into it. Michael Jordan and Kobe were aggressive scorers. Neither was really an assist guy. Neither led the league in assists. Neither was a rebound guy. They scored. That's what they did. They leaned into it. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, pre-snap geniuses. Neither are great athletes. Neither are running around, but both, before the ball snapped, probably as good as we've ever seen. And they just leaned into it. More film. More. Tony Gwynn, best pure baseball hitter I've ever seen. I didn't grow up with Ted Williams. Tony Gwynn, I'm not a home run guy. I'm a base knock guy. So he hit for average. If LeBron was a baseball player, he would be what he is as a basketball player. He could lead baseball in batting average. He could lead it in on-base percentage. He could lead it in home runs. But he'd do a little of everything. What do you need in the moment? That's LeBron. LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain are the only two basketball players in my life who could lead the NBA in any category, but they've had to make a choice. LeBron last year led the league in assists. LeBron now has the most 25-point average seasons. For years, he was the best on-ball defender. He literally could guard any position. I still go back to the Chicago playoff series when he was a Cav where he said, I'm going to guard Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was MVP. Totally shut him down. Little tiny Derrick Rose. Little pew. That's like asking an 18-wheeler to stop a Fiat. Like, just take him out of the game. He's the best leader. LeBron, but Wilt was the same way. Wilt's like, I'm going to lead the league in rebounding. Don't tell me about Bill Russell. I'm going to lead the league in assists. Wilt Chamberlain once led the NBA in minutes, and he averaged more minutes than there were per game. What? Because he played overtime. Because he heard Wilt, you don't play that hard. Wilt's like, I'm going to lead the league in minutes and assists and scoring and rebound. If you count playoffs, LeBron all time in basketball is second in points, fourth in assists, 8 in steals, 31st in rebounds. And the only reason he's not top 10 in rebounds, because he could be, is because you don't want LeBron rebounding because you want him on the fast break because he's a freight train. So LeBron very early in his career figured out, I can score so quickly and beat all the guys guarding me down the floor. I don't want to be grabbing a rebound and have to weave my way through traffic. I'm just taking off, get me the ball, and I'll score. So everybody else, even the stars, know what they're good at. They lean into it. LeBron doesn't. LeBron has to make a choice. What matters this year, this moment, this set, this series, this possession? What does my team need now? Okay, I'll be the best in the world at that now. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd.